It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
Mike T is the man. Any hate, disrespect, and the ilk is complete and utter. Mike T is the man. From day one that we talked on the phone in the offseason, I was never talking to a head coach. I was talking to a friend. I have crazy respect for him. The way that he leads the room, the way that he talks in the team meeting, the way he is at practice. The surprise has been just what a great dude he is, what a great leader he is, on top of what I already expected, which was already high based on what I thought from afar. But being able to see it in person is incredible.
That's Aaron Rodgers singing the praises of Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. He's the man.
Okay.
Now turn that into W's, right? They're thirsting for playoff wins in Pittsburgh.
Everybody is. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's a nice recommendation and support of his head coach. And Tomlin's been there for, is he the longest active head coach with the same team?
I don't know the answer to that, but off the top of my head, I don't have anybody who'd be around longer. So I race through the clubs. Cincinnati Bengals released former Ute star Zach Moss. He was there 1 year. They waived him after he began camp on the non-football injury list. He suffered a season-ending neck injury last year. Maybe he'll be back, but that sounds like the kind of thing that could be a career-ending neck injury. We'll see how that plays out. Raiders give offensive tackle Colton Miller 3 years, add $66 million to his deal, $42 million guaranteed. He's the longest tenured Raider right now, and they are locking him up.
Ooh, lock him up?
Lock him up, in a good sense. Titans quarterback Cam Ward not pleased with the team's offense so far in training camp, telling reporters, I just think we're very mid right now. At the end of the day, it all starts with me. Cam Ward trying to raise expectations, set a higher bar.
I would go the beginning of the day. That's a bad usage of the end of the day, because the end of the day is over. You want to get going. You want a new start. Go beginning of the day.
Broncos quarterback Bo Nix not shying away from holding lofty goals and ambitions for the season, saying the expectations are definitely higher, but we like that. That means you're a good football team. That means you have something to play for. We put together a really good football team. The expectations are definitely higher. And that means you're doing something right.
Right on.
Coming off 10 wins and a playoff appearance last year. They're raising the bar. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Do you have a timeline in your head for when you'd like to decide on a quarterback?
Yeah, as soon as we can. I know that we can wait until the first game, but we'd like to get it sorted out as soon as we can. But we can't really put a deadline to it. It's not like we have to have this much done in day 1, day 2, day 3. I just like to see them kind of go with the flow of the offense, and can't just be all the focus is on them. We got a lot of different players that we need to get ready.
I feel great. I mean, surgery that I had, bouncing back for that, is like, I'm hungry for it. Right. I'm ready to go again. I'm ready to catch 1,500 yards this year. I want to touch that 1,000 for sure. Okay. Yeah.
That's it, huh?
Yes. Coming here is a special place for me. One of the running backs that came out of my high school, Devontae Booker, made 1,000 yards, and I want to top that for sure.
Wayshawn Parker guaranteed 1,000-yard season from himself. Yes, he did.
Hey, well, with the offensive line we got, that's very realistic, and the offensive line better be good. Everyone's telling them they're good, including me. As the offensive line goes, so will go the running game. But we've had a 1,000-yard rusher here many, many times, and so not something totally out of our character.
How about 2,000?
Haven't had that. I can't remember having that, but if he goes for 2,000 yards, we've had a great season. How about that?
A little back and forth with Patrick Kinahan, setting goals with Kyle Whittingham.
And Jake Hatch with
Hatch before with the Cougars.
Kalani Sitake.
Holding them accountable. Where
sure.
do we stand?
1,000 yards, maybe 1,500. I actually think it should be higher than 1,000 for Parker. Now, he said it himself, and then he backed it, 1,000. But he did originally start higher, and I see zippo problemo with that.
Over 12 or 13 games, I get why you would want to raise the bar on the 1,000-yard
right,
season.
That's all they're playing. Good one.
Nice. Games 14 and 15. And 16.
Oh, man. I took the mic off.
That was kind of defensive.
But you always have me on the defensive.
Hardly. CU Buffalo's defensive back Carter Stoutmeyer called the return of Deion Sanders to the Buffs and leading practices after his bladder cancer ordeal. He said it was a breath of fresh air for the whole team.
Well, you got that clean mountain air out there, so yeah.
Don't have the smoke blowing in from the fires, turning everything gray, right?
Smoke on the water. Had a big discussion with somebody about that yesterday.
We will get to that coming up. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
The legitimacy, the legacy of the Lakers' 2020 NBA title in the bubble in Orlando has been a subject of debate for years. And Philadelphia 76ers executive Daryl Morey poured gas on the fire, telling The Athletic this week, "Had the Rockets won the title, I absolutely would have celebrated it as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees that it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship. Perhaps the lasting legacy of the NBA bubble is the NBA should be proud of its leadership at both the beginning and end of the pandemic, even though the champion will forever be marked by an asterisk." You believe in asterisk championships?
Sure. I mean, I think if you don't play 82 games consecutively, then, yeah, it's different. Okay.
So we've got three or four asterisk champions. I mean, They play 82 the year after either in 21.
How many did they play?
I think they played 72 that year.
Yeah. They didn't play 82? What's wrong with that?
It's like some teams get held accountable for it and others don't.
Who cares? All the crap going on in the world, we're going to argue this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's sports. That's what we're here for. We argue stupid stuff. It's what we do.
Embrace debate, PK.
There was a 66 game about 2013. I don't remember who won that title.
Well, we had a Spurs
Was that a Heat title?
With a 50-some-odd game.
Spurs with 50.
If you don't play the full schedule, sure. It's the same with the Dodgers in Texas Rangers Stadium that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers in 81 when they only played about 110, 120 games in those 2 half seasons.
If it's different.
And Joe Gibbs, 2 of his 3 Super Bowls.
I don't remember what they were. That's you. I wouldn't have been able to come up with that in 100 years.
Yeah. Some teams get held accountable, others get left off the hook.
Who's getting left off the hook?
Apparently Joe Gibbs.
You just brought him up. So you got him on the hook.
I'm apparently the only one.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm the only one. New Atlanta Hawks forward Kristaps Porzingis telling reporters he likes his new role and his new team, saying to reporters, "I think expectations are high. Atlanta's been on the edge of the playoffs for the last few years, sometimes getting through the first round. It's a great situation for me to come in and contribute. Maybe even better than Boston, where it was championship or bust."
Good. I come to Atlanta, no pressure, nobody cares, and we're all about the Bulldogs up the road, and I can just gotta fly under the radar, make my millions, go home.
Well, he
Life
started
is
with,
good.
"I think expectations are high," but it's not championship or bust high.
I don't care what he said. I care what the meaning is.
Former NBA guard Gilbert Arenas was arrested Wednesday in connection with a federal indictment that alleges the former NBA star hosted illegal high-stakes poker games at his mansion in Encino.
And, I think the thing here is, why does Gilbert Arenas have a mansion? What did he ever do?
Won a first-round playoff series one time and scored a bunch of points. And as part of that poker game, he was taking.
So he's better than Tracy McGrady.
Because he won what?
Yeah, according to your logic, big guy, he's better than Tracy McGrady.
That's a good debate.
Yeah, if that's a debate, coming up at 7:30, is the sun hot?
Nice.
There's no debate. No one is going to say
Gilbert Arenas is better than Tracy McGrady. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Swinging a fly ball, right field. Watch it fly. Gone. Kerry Carpenter breaks the tie. Tigers take a 4-1 lead in the 5th.
And Altuve hits it high in the air, pretty deep to left. It sends back Wood at the wall, looking up. See you later! Into the Landry's Crawford boxes. A 3-run shot for Jose Altuve. And a 4-1 lead for the Astros. Altuve's 18th of the year.
Fly ball center field, this will do it. Jazz tags. It's well over the head of the center fielder. Jazz walks home. Yankees win. McMahon with a long fly ball to center, and they come back one of their weirdest, wackiest games I have ever seen. In 11, the Yankees win it 5-4.
Yankees score 2 in the 8th to take the lead, 1 in the 9th to tie the game, 1 in the 10th to tie the game and extend it to the 11th where they finally win. Yankees coming up clutch in the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th inning and beating the Rays 5-4. Hence the wacky game. You heard the Astros in there. They win big. They blow out the Nationals 9-1. Diaz with the 3-run homer there. And the Cubs, who'd been struggling with the Brewers, avoid the sweep. They win 10-3, so they're 1 game back in the National League Central. Dodger star Shohei Ohtani, a little bit of panic maybe, a little stress, a little worry. Trainers visiting him on the mound, but they said it was cramping in his hip that ended up causing the pain that caused him to leave the game. The Dodgers end up losing. Shohei on the mound scares you. His bat's too effective, right?
Yeah, I just don't necessarily see the need for it. I mean, does he need to prove something? No. You got a good thing going there. Maybe even as a reliever or something. If you need him. But they're determined to have him do both and see what happens.
He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, only pitched 3 innings, and so that raises his ERA, but only to 2.40. And that is why they keep running him out there. That is an excellent, excellent ERA. He did stay in the game in DH, 0 for 5 with a strikeout as they lose 5-2.
Yeah, that's basically the Shohei Ohtani role.
Right.
Which I'm fine with. It's about entertainment. Now, if you pay money to go see the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani doesn't bat, you'd be upset.
You're disappointed for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball trade deadline and a lot of deals. Your Diamondbacks send Eugenio Suarez to Seattle.
That's Eugenio. It's kind of like eugenics, and my genes are awfully good, and so are Suarez's when it comes to hitting long balls.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
Seattle is 5 games over 500. They're 5 games back of Houston division, and they are tied with Texas for the last wild card spot.
And they get Suarez back after they originally traded him to Arizona.
Been traded 3 times. Came up with the Reds to Seattle to Arizona, back to Seattle.
Any of the other moves catch your eye? Or are they all little moves around the edge? We'll see if they pay off. But
well, I mean, in baseball now, particularly out of the bullpen, they're specialists. It's been this way for a while.
Yep.
So, you have to have someone to face a particular
you need someone to get a lefty, someone to get a righty, someone for the 7th, someone for the 8th, and someone for the 9th.
So we'll see if these moves pay off. I mean, he's the biggest position player, unless I'm forgetting somebody, to be able to move. And he was 34 years old and he's a free agent, and the Diamondbacks are going nowhere. They've had a slew of injuries, and their season has been destroyed. They've lost 4, 5, 6 in a row. And they're not interested in playing anymore. So they had to, and I suspect that there'll be a couple more moves that they'll make today. But pitching, pitching is a big, big deal, obviously.
So is it a bigger deal then for all the injured pitchers? I mean, really, every team can complain about this. It seems like pitchers are just going down all the time. To get somebody back, Yu Darvish was dealing for the Padres. It was only his 5th start. He didn't pitch until July, and now here at the end of July, he had 7 shutout innings. I mean, we just don't see starters left in that long very often. But he only gave up 2 hits. He was struck out 7, so he had it going.
Well, the Mets were resting a couple of their bats. Yeah. But, yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's had his issues in the postseason. We'll see if the team gets there and what his situation is. But, yeah, and the Cubs got one back, too. I think Milwaukee's got one back. And so Now down the final 2 months of the season. Goes fast.
Bees beat the Comets 10-1 in Oklahoma City. They play again tonight at 6 o'clock. Tony Parks on the call. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
And there's a back pass given away. It got into the area. Out comes the keeper. Shot blocked. Rebound. Open net. Back post. Luna. Open net. Yes. And RSL scores. Another bad giveaway by Club America. And it took 3 bites at the apple, but RSL finally got it in. Farah steps up. Goes down the middle. Smashes it home. And it's 3-1 RSL. And another save by Cabral. Down to his left to win it. He turns away 3 out of 4. Cabral, man of the match. The big save with one paw. And now this. And everyone's jumping on Cabral. RSL gets the win after playing to a 2-2 draw. They win on penalties 3-1. They get 2 points in the first of 3 games in the Leagues Cup Group Play Phase 1. And Club America, man, that was a heck of a goal to score in the final minute right at the death, PK. Time running out, and they get it to 2-2 after trailing the entire second half. They never led in the game. That was one of the highest energy, most focused performances I can remember from RSL. Certainly the best performance of this season, and then I don't know about going back in previous years, but that was they were dialed in from the start. They got pushed, and they were able to answer the bell at a pretty high level. There were mistakes. It wasn't a perfect game to be sure, but that was very competitive with a good club from Mexico.
I can tell, man. You were fired up.
Yes. And there were probably, I would say it was at least half the fans were rooting for Club America. It energized the stadium, to be sure.
So who was the other rooting for?
The other half was rooting for RSL.
Oh, split down the middle? Well, that
much.
could have been, the way the bracket's set up.
It's a little early for that, but I get your point, yes. So. RSL will now host Atletico de San Luis at America First Field on Saturday night, and they got crushed in Portland. They got shut out. Portland scoring again and again and again, ends up winning 4-0.
Is paw, is that like nil? You can't say 0 because that proves you don't know a damn thing about soccer?
Yeah, you can't say right hand.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I did. I mean, you people got all these
the laws of
all
the
these
game.
American wannabes have all these rules with soccer.
That was the
rest of us. They got. Why didn't you just say 4-0?
Unbelievable save,
like the rest of us do.
That looked like back of the net, to be sure.
That's like a white guy trying to pronounce. Hispanic and
Latin
and Polynesian names. You're a white dude. Stop it. We don't do that.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
It's the last chance of the PGA Tour, the Wyndham Championship. The last tournament before the FedEx Cup playoffs start. The top 70 players will get into the playoffs, and those become $20 million events every week, 3 weeks in a row. So top 70 will qualify for the first tournament, top 50 for the second, and top 30 for the third and final.
And why don't we announce golf in a Scottish accent?
And why do you always have to whisper?
Yeah, I mean, the sport was invented over there.
Laddie.
It's the same thing with soccer, right? The sport was invented over there, so Americans are a bunch of wannabes and have to talk in their language. Why don't we talk like they do over there? Mate?
Pull out your Scottish bro, go.
Yeah.
Is Mate from over there?
Mate's from down under.
Right. I don't understand it. There's inconsistencies in this world, and I will not tolerate them.
Tony Finau, Patrick Fishburne, Zach Blair are all going to play this week at the Wyndham Championship, so multiple guys with local ties in the tournament. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Jason Beck, University of Utah offensive coordinator, meeting with the media. Big questions about the Utah offense. We'll hear from him at 8 o'clock. Morgan Scally, defensive coordinator, at 8:30. And PK and I talked with Fesi Sataki, BYU passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach, about the receivers and the quarterbacks. We'll hear from him at 9 o'clock. A lot of college football on the way. Stay with us right here on The Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Hillstead has played. Bachmeier has not played. So you may not actually know how some of these guys look until they are taking live snaps in an actual game. Maybe Hillstead looks more experienced and seasoned, but Bachmeier's upside is higher. So maybe he gets to play the second half against Portland State, and then you end up with this bleeding into week 2. And I think that's always the danger there.
There's no putting it to bed in week 2. It's going to be weak all year. I've seen it a zillion times. The star Frosch doesn't get the job. The guy that's a little bit more senior, but you're not really sure of. The conversation is always there until the Frosch replaces the upperclassman. And then you know what happens, Ben? The freshman struggles.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the year, you're going, well, maybe we should go back to the other guy.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time, Ben.
Hear Jake Scott and Ben Anderson every day from 10 to noon on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Time for the question of the morning. PK, college football has begun. The practices, at least. The game's still about a month away. But the practices have begun. Day 1. We meet new players. We learn new things. We talk to coaches about said new players. We learn more new things. You and I made the trip to Provo. Did you come back packing extra knowledge?
I did. Well, confirming what I've already believed for months. And then some other stuff I felt a little more encouraged about from the BYU perspective. So, yeah.
What did you confirm and what encouraged you?
I'm not going to share that.
Okay, then. Awesome radio right there. Why don't you people mind your own business?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, how does this radio thing work? Explain it to me again. Wait, we learn stuff and we tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I don't feel like it. What are you going to give me?
The show is in trouble.
Give me something. Show up at the KSL building. Give me a breakfast burrito.
We'll trade sports knowledge for food.
Yeah.
Signed, PK.
Right. I mean, we have to sign those payola things, but they never said anything about that.
Right.
This isn't a business. You know, we can't do that. I can't get free whatever and pump your whatever. But this is all I want is a breakfast burrito, and I'll give you all the information I have. That's fair trade. Come on, people. Just ring the doorbell, and DJ will go down and give you a signed autograph and get me a burrito. And that's a win-win right there. Wouldn't you say? I would say, yeah, I think so. You can sit over there and be quiet. That doesn't bother me. I can talk. Hell, I can talk for 2.5 hours. No problem. Ready to go.
And bring it.
I got, I've already been to the gym. I got a lot of energy right now. And I got water. I'm good.
You figured a Tiger Bachmeier would be a good interview. You confirmed
I didn't
that he's
know.
not only good, but he's actually great.
He's great. He's a great interview. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If he's as good a wide receiver as he is an interview, then BYU fans are going to be on their feet cheering a lot this year.
And we'll be playing that in the next day or so. But, yeah, that's an outstanding interview right there. He's a great, a lot of personality, and a smaller kid compared to his brother, or brothers, because Hank, quarterback over there, last Boise for a bit, and then he went on his way, transferred. And Bear is a bigger kid. But, Tiger's been around, and he's got experience, some years at Stanford there. And, play with them while you're in the woods. You got a Tiger and a Bear squaring off. Who's going to win? And he graduated. Obviously, he went with the Tiger, and then he graduated in 2.5 years. And I said, well, your brother went to Stanford too. Yeah, but he didn't graduate. I just put him in his place. So he had personality, and he's got experience. And we'll see what he can do to work his way in the depth chart. I mean, we talked to Fesi Sataki, then we'll play that interview in about, 2.5 hours.
1.5. 9 o'clock.
I knew my math sucks. Obviously Roberts is there, and I said, who else you got? You got to have other guys, obviously. And then he mentioned Kingston and Phillips. Did he mention somebody else?
Those are the two. He mentioned multiple people,
right,
but those are the two.
We put them on tiers.
Right. Those are the two who are – the other guys, I think, have to catch those two.
Yeah, he said it's their time. Their time has come. He said their time is up, but what he meant is their time is now. When you hear him say their time is up, he means it's time for them to
the development time, yeah. The development time is
Phillips,
you always want to get better, but it's come and gone.
We've
they got to
seen Kingston and special teams look great. I mean, if you got those initials, they're obviously great.
Nice.
And then Phillips, he certainly looks the part. There's no doubt about that. And he's been in the program now a couple years, so I get where he's coming from Fessie's perspective. And then they've got 4 or 5, maybe even 6 other guys. How's it going to play out? I mean, you want that competition. And Hagen in there, kid from corner, who's super fast and is, a couple years now removed from his mission. So he should be whatever he is, has that ability to display it. Still a young kid, not necessarily chronologically, but in the program. But he's had time to, what they talk about, that mission rust and legs and stuff. I've never done any of that, so I wouldn't have any idea what that's about. I guess I'd have an idea because I've talked to so many of them over the years about it. And I'm encouraged there that they've got other guys to pick up the slack with Lassiter not getting the year back. And
he made a lot of plays for them, so they really need someone to step into that role.
He did, but I think they've got other guys. And Fessy is not one of these dudes who's going to run his mouth with no backing. Not been my experience. He's a good interview, a very personable guy. But, he knows what he's talking about. He's been there a number of years now. Been there coaching at BYU, I think, longer than he said any other place. And so he's a veteran. The staff is a very veteran staff, and that's really cool to have so many guys that these are professional college coaches for sure. They're not in training. And then, and then with these so-called analysts, the guys, the Gary Anderson type, if you got a Gary Anderson who's down your coaching depth chart, so to speak, that's a pretty good person to have because he's been around the block 100 times and he knows football.
And combine these guys now have all seen a lot. They've been in a lot of situations. They got stuff to draw on.
Yeah. And they know how to make changes and they can anticipate so they can tell us stuff off to the side and we can bring it on there and share some of it no. But that's cool there, and it's across the board. And then I still don't think there's I know others have disagreed, I don't think there's a leader in the starting quarterback spot.
And you think that in the long run, they're going to find a way to get Bear Bachmeier on the field, and then it'll be his job to seize with his play once he gets there. But long term...
Well, if we go into next year, this year, who knows how it's going to play out. But and people were, when we got there with the open segment there, they let you see, and he was with the first team. And I know that was news, and it should be reported, but it is zero surprise. He will receive every opportunity
to seize that job.
I've been saying this for months.
The only question is, can a true freshman who wasn't here for spring ball get his arms all the way around the offense in 30 days? Okay, and if the answer is yes, or maybe even if it's just close to yes, then he can be the guy.
Can a true whatever?
Yeah.
Can that and it's more amplified because the young man is that.
Right.
But
it's always the question.
Yeah, it is. It's across the board.
A senior who can't quite get his arms all the way around the offense can lose the job. Right. Yeah.
I mean, they had that with Retzlaff. The minute Retzlaff, the news broke, they knew he was gone. I know some fans held out hope, and I got asked 100 times, and I checked immediately.
But the coaches on the inside didn't really believe there was going to be a path forward.
Right. And so then they go when Bachmeier put his name in, it was celebration time. Hey, we got a shot because they'd had a relationship. And they talk about this. That's what these bounce back things are in recruiting, is that it never ends.
The line used to be, it doesn't matter if you finish second, and now it does.
It does. You're right. Yeah, it does.
And that was such a cliche. Yeah. Hey, we came in second on that kid.
Whoop-de-freaking-do.
Right. But now with the transfer portal, all right, let's wait and see. Maybe that does matter.
You never know. And they changed coaches on him up there, over there, down there in Stanford, Palo Alto, and so he got out of there. And we'll see. I don't know. I am not saying one or the other is going to be the starter. And it very well could be Hillstead all the way. Absolutely. But the other guys are going to get a great opportunity of that. They're going to get all the opportunity they need to be a starter. That's a fact. So I think those are the couple of things. And then I got some Utah things. Yeah, because I went up there too. And I was in the side of the camera on one of them, and guy texted me, or I saw a thing on Twitter, and PK, he's looking old. Yeah, well, I am old. I'm taking the Kenny Dillingham thing. Yeah, it's hot.
Deal with it.
What?
Deal with it.
That's even more awesome. I'm old as crap, and I still have a job, and I went to Utah and BYU yesterday, so nothing's changed. The lines on my face, they've been earned. The giddy up in my hitch is less. It's been earned. The gray in my hair.
Earned.
Yes. You should be so fortunate. I'll just leave it at
fact.
that.
That's
right.
Fact right there.
My attitude is still as salty as ever. And you know where you can go and you know what you can do to yourself? Yeah.
Hey now.
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
Didn't get enough of a reaction out of me, so you just kept pushing it. You just keep looking at me like, well.
Did I break down your resistance as you started off the week telling me?
Eventually, yes, you did. I think you did, and I think that was the moment right there.
Did you break your resistance down like you do with everybody else? I got to laugh when I said that at home. I think that in my time of being around Utah football to an extent, that Devin Dampier has more charisma than any quarterback who's played at Utah in my time.
That's saying something right there.
Yeah.
They've had some charismatic guys. Brian Johnson for sure.
I give the edge to Dampier in charisma. Brian, and I've said this often, was the best leader of a team at the college level that I've seen. And he was, we made a big deal about 17. At no point was he ever 17.
Yeah, 17 going on 20.
Right. And he was always ahead of the game that way.
Right into his coaching career.
Right.
He can't even rent a car, but we're sending him on recruiting trips.
He probably was that way at 12.
Probably.
In Texas.
That's why there's that phrase, he's an old soul.
Yeah, and he had the ability to rally people, people much older. Everybody in the media loved him. And Dampier, he has charisma. They tell us he has leadership, and I can see based on the charisma, he's a talker, he's full of energy, people are drawn to him. And Kyle made a point, and I can totally see this, because we were around Dampier a little bit in the spring, around Dampier down in Texas, and just the first day, I mean, he didn't even get to the 2-minute mark, and they're screaming last question, which I think is a little silly.
Why, when a guy has that much charisma and is brand new, in an era when no one can raise enough money, put the people out there that the fans are going to bond with? Why do you think they're going to open their wallets?
And he's a person you would bond with. He has a $1 million smile. And he can talk, and he's a dynamic player, all this stuff. And so the one thing that caught my ear when Kyle said that was you would expect him to be the leader of the offense. But Kyle says that Dampier has made it a point to know most of the folk on the other side of the ball, too. And so he feels like Kyle, speaking, Dampier is a leader of the team. And based on the evidence that I've seen, I totally believe it. They got 30 new guys they got to incorporate. Dampier is one of those guys that people will rally around. They probably did it in New Mexico. If we were to talk about anybody down there, that's just who he is. And you want that out of your quarterback. They all are leaders in their own way. Cam was, you see that wall? Yeah, I'm running through it. Ready, go.
And if my helmet pops off and my hair flops around in the middle of the Pac-12 title game, you will all be energized by it.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily a verbose guy.
No.
A lot of talking, that type of thing. That's not who he was.
No, but he had a way of looking at people and having a little smile and a wink, and that confidence came across. That his charisma wasn't verbal as much as it was the nonverbal.
He believes in himself so much that I believe in him.
Yeah.
And I remember
that was repeated up and down the roster.
Yeah, the first time I talked to him when he was redshirting and they were bringing in other guys, and I did a little one-on-one in that little mud room where they take off their shoes before they go in the locker room, and a bunch of guys there, noisy, and just like they were bringing in, I don't even remember who they were bringing in now because it was so long ago. And he's like, I don't give a crap. Hey, friggin' bring in Peyton Manning for all I care. I mean, he didn't say that, but that's what I took from him. So he had that level of
More
leadership.
obvious when you first talked to him, Cam Rising or Rudy Gobert?
It took a bit with Gobert, but I had a longer conversation with Gobert. But they're very similar in the individual beliefs in themselves. I will show you.
Yep.
And Rudy had a level of animus towards the disrespect. Cam got recruited by Texas and comes to Utah.
Yeah.
So not a whole lot of disrespect in the recruiting process.
Not to the same level of being drafted 27th.
Right. And so...
Although the Jazz really believed in Rudy. I mean, they traded up to get him. And Locke came back at the end of the press conference that night. You and I were there and came back. And he was just over the top about what a great pick that was.
Yeah. Rudy had a massive chip. I don't think Cam had the chip. He just had the utmost confidence in himself. And even when, who was the other dude who went 15 for 13 in the spring game, Yak? Who was that guy that our friend here was all excited about?
Charlie Brewer.
Is that man? Because they had two of them, one like consecutive years.
Yes.
Neither one of them were worth a crap. And he got beat out.
Correct, yeah.
And I come in, what are you guys doing? You're picking the wrong guy. It's over here.
And we found out after
he's
the
your guy
that as Kyle is usually prone to do, you throw interceptions in practice and he's going to be like, "Ee!" and ultimately proved out that, yeah, they picked the wrong guy.
Yeah, interceptions are not like a terminal diagnosis. Sometimes you try to make a play.
Yep.
And
squeeze the ball in there and it didn't work.
And do you want somebody who's going to try to make a play, or do you want somebody to just be so pedestrian?
When your favorite games are
cautious?
3-0 and 13-10, I think you've just answered your own question.
Yeah, well, he's a nincompoop. And Cam had that. And this kid, Dampier, this guy's got all sorts of charisma. Everybody around him on that team is going to be drawn to him. Great interview. Put him out there more. Let him go, dare I say, 2.5 minutes.
Whoa. That's crazy talk.
Whoa, 2:30?
Last question.
Hey.
Because I got the recorder and I can see the time on it.
Yeah.
And I was timing, when do we go last question here?
For comparison's sake, yesterday, all three BYU quarterbacks, the shortest one, 4 minutes and 39 seconds.
Well, there's a time it runs its course.
Especially depending on the answers.
And
like some
and the person being interviewed.
And the person being interviewed and what the storylines are. But a lot of college athletes will give you the simple sentence, and it's just, as you would like to say back then, it's a noun, verb, maybe an adjective, boom, it's done in 9 seconds.
It's boring.
So you can rattle through 10 or 15 questions.
Yeah.
And you're 2.5, 3 minutes in. Meanwhile, you're over here talking to Tiger Bachmeyer, and you ask him a question about, is there a connection with your brother when you're on the field? Let me answer that by telling you 2 stories.
I'll cite you 2 examples.
Yeah. And
6th grade and then high school.
Yeah, football and basketball, elementary school and high school. And it's like, that was the 2-minute answer right there.
Yeah, he gave great answers. Now, he's a little more mature.
Sure.
And you expect that. But, I don't think that necessarily Stanford is having a ton of media. Because it's way down the pecking order.
Way down the pecking order.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a few miles away from the Niners, who obviously cast a massive shadow over everything. But Giants, Warriors.
And Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
They're super close.
They are super close.
They're actually closer.
San Jose State's not far away either. It's very crowded down there. It's very crowded.
Yeah, but San Jose is the closest. I mean, Santa Clara is the closest. It's one time Kelly Papinga told me, he said, at Virginia, what were they there, 6 years? He said, I would get interviewed once in the preseason, and that's it. And here, it's every week.
Yeah.
So
the passion for college football here runs deep.
Yeah, which is why I love working here. Yeah, absolutely. The guy who called me old hurt my feelings, and I cried myself to sleep. But then I realized, well, he's right.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But, I still got the do. Not too fat, a little paunchy, not bad.
Jason Beck, Utah offensive coordinator, top of the hour. Morgan Scalley, defensive coordinator, 8:30. And Fesi Sataki, BYU assistant coach, passing game coordinator, wide receivers coach, coming up at 9 o'clock. DJ and PK, you had a debate that needs to be settled. Talking to a rock and roller.
Sweet little rock and roller.
All right, we'll do that next. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.
This is Hanson Scotty.
Let's do it.
Kalani Sitake, what is the most you've paid for a concert ticket, and what concert was it?
For me, MC Hammer.
Oh, nice.
I had the parachute pants, you know, all that stuff ready to go. I mean, don't get me started, guys.
No,
you
we
can still
won't.
listen to the stuff right now. It's good, clean, wholesome music. You know, the whole family can have parachute pants and go out.
That's true.
And then do their dances and stuff like that. You know, Can't Touch This. I mean, he even had some slow songs. You know, songs about praying.
Pray.
You know, come on, man. Like, he's got it all.
What kind of a show is this? Catch Hans Olsen and Scotty G every day from noon to 3 on 97.5 1280 The Zone. Powered by KSLSports.com.
Cold beer on a Friday night. Pair of jeans. Yeah. You can't be fitting just right, though, apparently. But go ahead.
The band of the day today is Zach Brown Band. Zach Brown is 47 today. It's brought to you by Live Nation for all the live concerts and events in 2025. Check out livenation.com.
You know I like my chicken fried. I've seen Zach Brown probably 10 times. And thankfully, I have to credit Jimmer Fredette.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because that his junior year, we were in Oklahoma City, and they beat somebody in the first round. I don't even remember.
Florida.
I thought it was the second round.
Oh, okay.
But Florida, you're right. Because then they lost the next year. You're absolutely right. And I don't even. Why did I apologize because you know that stuff. My bad, 100%. And so the in between time, you know, you do the press conferences, blah blah blah, and then you kill some time. And I'm sitting in the hotel flicking around the TV, and they have this thing, this concert comes on with Jimmy Buffett, and I stop, and he's introducing this up-and-coming dude, and it's Zach Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd never heard of Zach Brown.
And you wouldn't have been watching TV flipping around if they had lost in the first round.
I'd be on a plane coming home.
I think it was an OT game. And what I remember is the post-game interview with Jimmer on the baseline. And he's talking so matter-of-factly in his Jimmer way about winning the game. I remember thinking, BYU doesn't win NCAA tournament games. And they didn't luck into some program that doesn't know what it's doing or something like that's an SEC team with a real budget, with a tournament pedigree, and they went toe-to-toe and didn't blink. And this guy's coming back for another year? This isn't BYU. That's what I really don't even remember buckets in the game. I remember the interview and how calm Jimmer was. Like, yeah, we did that.
Mike Lloyd had a big game or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now that you recall it. But anyway, there you go.
All right, so you got into a little debate over music, not country music. You went to a previous chapter in your life. Rock and roll.
Younger days, yeah.
Yeah. The best riff, the best intro, which is unanswerable and an awesome debate.
Not according to one guy.
If you know someone you like to argue with, it's perfect because it's unanswerable, but people will act like it's answerable, and so hence the argument.
Well, it was started yesterday and continued into the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think there is a correct answer to this, but I will say that when I read this, because I saw you put it up on Facebook, the first thing I thought of was Smoke on the Water. That was the first thing that came to mind.
And what is that, Yak?
There it is.
So then I followed up with, oh, no, I like Layla by Eric Clapton.
That is good.
And then the argument, no, you're not understanding. It is the most iconic, not the best. And then
that's a fine line.
I got a snooty definition of iconic.
Oh, nice. The second thing that occurred to me was Back in Black by AC/DC. That's pretty epic right there.
So then I responded this morning, after a restless night of reflection and contemplation, I'm willing to move slightly off my stance. The literal rift part is more well-known but in part because Layla is a much better tune with an excellent riff of his own. At this time, I will have no further comment, and please respect my privacy.
Nice. That is such an excellent response by you. Well played. That got a laugh, didn't it?
Along with some other stuff.
I bet. Respect my privacy. Nice.
Now, you cannot.
Don't knock on my door.
And under any circumstance, reveal the response. And I'll let you read it.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Well done. I will say that when this happened, and you've not told me who you had this discussion/debate with.
Nobody.
But I assumed, given your itinerary yesterday, do radio, talk about college football, go to BYU, talk about college football, go to Utah, talk about college football. I assume this had something to do with college football and somebody in college football. Although you text with people from all sports all the time, so there's no way to know for
comment
sure.
at this time.
I understand. But that was just my assumption as I stared at my laptop last night at some outrageous hour when I couldn't fall asleep. And then it occurred to me, the song that needs to be introduced into this discussion is Enter Sandman by Metallica, which Virginia Tech comes into, and it's quite the production. If you ever watch a Virginia Tech game right from the start on ESPN or ABC or Fox or whoever's got the game, they love to make a production out of showing you that.
Oh, yeah.
It is theater. Whoever did that for Virginia Tech with the lights, the crowd gets into it. It's an artistic performance. Before we kick off, before whatever happens for 3 hours of football, there's a show, and it will be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And I can't believe that Enter Sandman took me that long to think of once I realized, well, it was a college football kind of day, and this song is now so closely linked to college football.
Okay. It's not, I like it. If I'm going to go with that, I'm going to go a little harder. And I realize Jacques played the acoustic version that they did of Layla, but there is a plug-in version. Obviously, the original was that very song where they play it much harder.
Put this up on Twitter. You can weigh in. Settle the debate. What's the best rock intro riff? It's also up on Facebook, and we will get some of your responses later in the show. All right, DJ and PK, Jason Beck, Utah offensive coordinator, meeting with the media as practice opens up. So many questions. What is the offense going to look like? How productive is it going to be? Is Devin Dampier going to make the jump from the Mountain West to the Big 12 and shine? We will get to that coming up next. Stay with us.